The purpose of this brief ceremony is to commemorate criminal justice students, friends, alumni, and criminal justice professionals who have lost their lives in the line of duty. At this time, I'd like to introduce Taylor Hendricks, who will perform the Star-Spangled Banner.
Test, test, test.
Pump up the volume.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight's last gleam? What stripes and bright stars surround our skies, what our brothers
At this time, I'd like to introduce Dr. Randy Garner, Senior Executive Director of the Criminal Justice Center, who will explain the significance of the Sundial.
So the significance of the Sundial ceremony is a time for us to remember those we have lost in the performance of their duty to God, country, and to our fellow human beings. This is why Charlie Friel, the former dean and now distinguished professor emeritus, instituted this Sundial ceremony. He incorporated the following passage from Ecclesiastes chapter 3 as a poignant reminder of the risks we face in the criminal justice occupation. There's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time for brokenness and a time for healing, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to celebrate, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give way, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. Ecclesiastes is really a book of perspective. And some of these terms are kind of unusual because we don't really understand the translated meaning of them today. They sound a little harsh. But keep in mind, this was written 900 years BC. And so the message it offers is one of the fallacy of seeking happiness only in pursuit of worldly things. The writer comes to accept that life is brief and we must all focus on an eternal power, not the temporary trials that we face on earth. Today, we honor those who have transcended those trials.
And now we'll have a moment of silence for our loved ones, friends, colleagues, and family members who were gone too soon but will not be forgotten. Thank you. The retired Texas flag will be presented to Mr. John McMaster, who tonight will present 9 scholarships that he has funded at our annual honors convocation. At this time, it's customary for us to place yellow roses on the sundial. These roses are placed by the various constituents of the Criminal Justice Center. Representatives of those constituents will place the roses, beginning with Alpha Phi Sigma and Cheney Ortega. Representing the Criminal Justice Ambassadors, Anastasia Aquino. Crime Victim Services Alliance, Brittany Torres. Representing our graduate student organization, Gadi Bellini. Lambda Alpha Epsilon is represented by Liam Spain. Chandler Fountain for the National Association of Blacks in Criminal Justice. The National Organization of Hispanics in Criminal Justice, represented by Ana Salinas. The Society of Forensic Science, Layla Graham. Representing the Leadership Command College and the Bill Blackwood Law Enforcement Management Institute of Texas, Max Tolliver. And finally, representing the Criminal Justice Alumni, Dr. Taylor Robinson. At this time, Taylor Hendricks will perform Amazing Grace. Thank you, everyone, for your participation in this difficult but important ceremony where we commemorate the lives who have been lost over the course of the past year. I want to acknowledge and offer a special thanks to Taylor Hendricks for our song performance, trumpet player Evan Wells, and the ROTC unit, which is under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Joshua Limber,